Hey, my name's Abby, and welcome to episode 2 of Divine FM. Last week I touched on the topic of facing your fears, and in order to do that, I went over a few ways we can work on inhabiting radical self-love. I wanted to just touch on it again, just in case anyone missed last week's episode. I wish I had the words to describe to you how important it is, at least to me, to have a positive sense of self as well as your world around you, i.e., whether it be your apartment or just a room at your parents' house. It's literally earth-shatteringly important. I feel like love runs the world and all of the people in it, and so you might as well love the world that you create for yourself, as well as your own self, in order to be happy, right? Wherever you plop your head down to sleep every night and practice your self-care routine, I feel like that space is the most important for us to keep clean, well-balanced, and full of love so we don't cause ourselves excess stress. And most importantly, ourselves. Taking that extra unnecessary shower and shaving and moisturizing and doing the whole 9 yards. It's exhausting and definitely gives more chore than relaxing self-care regimen energy, if that makes sense. But it has to be done. A single day has not gone by that I regret investing my time, money, or energy into myself. It simply has to be done, especially if you feel like that's what your inner you inside truly wants, deserves, and desires. We all deserve it, and we're all capable of creating the life of our dreams. It's all up to us. We control our own lives, but it's up to us, the ones who want to make a change bad enough to say goodbye to their ego and the old version of them, and, with fear, boldly stepping into a new direction with only blind hope and faith in themselves that they can make it happen. Are you capable of doing this? Of course you are. But are you willing to? Do you want to make a change in your life bad enough to blindly step into the new with the hopes of a better, brighter future? I can almost guarantee you the only new place or way to go from where you are and have been is up, brothers. Removing your mask and saying goodbye to a past version of you is sad. And it's uncomfortable. And it feels almost impossible sometimes. Especially if we particularly like this version of us, despite, the downsides that had been making you debate change in the first place. Maybe despite feeling uncomfortable in some particular areas of your life, that it feels too hard to let go of another. Well, then good, because change is hard, and it's never going to stop being hard or painful. It simply just waits for you to make the decision that you're ready to face it, head on and still with fear. But because you want it this time, your faith and love in your heart will guide your way and give you the strength you need to get through it and come out even better on the other side. Faith always prevails, my guy. I swear, guys, we are capable of real magic. Breaking any cycle in our life is a monumental feat, and we need to be giving ourselves credit where it deserves to be given. If you've listened this far, I thank you. And I congratulate you for seeking out or even just clicking on my podcast and giving it a chance. I know it can be a lot, and sometimes even heavy to talk about this stuff. Being vulnerable isn't easy. Regardless of me doing this podcast and YouTube and social media and stuff and, putting myself out in the world in general in such a vulnerable way, it's so scary. When I think about how scary it is, I just have to remind myself of all the scary things I've already done or I've already succeeded in. Like, yeah, releasing a podcast is scary, but so is buying 4-day passes for Lollapalooza months in advance and booking my hotel last minute with people I just met by chance and flying there alone at 19. Getting my phone stolen the second day I was there. Being at a festival was scary, but it also excited me like no other, and it lit my heart on fire. I feel the same about my podcast. See what I just did there? Scary thoughts avoided, fun and freeing thoughts about success made from scary decisions I made, a la mode. It feels so good to be brave, to have balls, and to just do what makes you happy or what sets your heart on fire. Being vulnerable and learning how to accept and love yourself even in that state, that's the key to having a successful and happy life, I'm afraid. At least as far as I've found out, that's the key. At least if you want that euphoric, everlasting kind of love and success. Because that's what I'm talking about. Having ultimate fulfillment in your life, and especially with yourself, is such a grand prize. It kills me that people fear the road less taken when it isn't even that bad. Maybe a tad bit emotional, yeah, but it's warm and inviting and comforting. And oh, yeah, it's scary too. But I guess after feeling what life could be like after letting go of my mask and living for me, my perspective on the whole feat really just changed. What once was hard now became a must, and throughout my journey, a boundary I set with myself was that if I must do hard things, then I must do everything in my current ability at the moment to make it fun or enjoyable to the most possible extent. In doing this, I found that doing hard things or obstacles that arise tend to be less hard, or at least a little more emotional. Not emotional, a little more enjoyable by habit, which in turn makes it less hard. Just a little tip by me, I guess. I hope everyone who listens to this remembers that you're loved, you're safe, and you're perfect, exactly the way that you are right now and right here in this very moment. As I end out this episode, I wanted to invite you to take some deep breaths with me, just to keep you for a moment longer and to help you align your energy as you exit this podcast and direct your attention to something else. Alright, you can exit if you don't want to do a little breath work, but if you do, please follow with me. Alright, big inhale. I love you all, and thank you so much for tuning into this week to Divine FM.